An update for Help Wanted 2 just released, and it gave us some huge lore drops that answers one of the community's biggest debates and teases us for the future. So in this video, I'm gonna go through this new update and analyze what it truly means. So first off, let's go through the new content the game gives us. When loading in, Mystic Hippo tells us that a forgotten button has materialized on her booth. We see this forgotten button has a strange symbol on it. Remember that. When we press the button, Mystic Hippo tells us to take a gift from the distant past. To start the journey, we have to go into the Puppet Master level. In the level, we see some sort of card on the table, with the image of the new upcoming antagonist for Secret of the Mimic, Jackie. When we open the drawer and access the keypad, we type in 1979, and the drawer at the bottom opens and Glitchtrap's hand pops out and gives us the tiger plush. When we go back to the hub, we see the plush next to the stage, and Mystic Hippo tells us that a hidden performer is ready to take a bow. We then discover that a new character has been added to the gallery, the Mimic, interestingly wearing the stitched costume from Ruin. Mystic Hippo then tells us that the performer must be spry. Since we don't have any tomatoes to throw at it, we have to use something to throw or shoot the robot. You pick up the phaser blast and shoot Mimic in the face, he screams, and the pizzeria's entrance opens. We exit and we are in a dark room, with a tiny Jackie's box in front of us. We open the box and we hear Jackie for the first time.
Time to play!
Then we get a double-visioned puzzle that changes what it looks like when we put on or take off the mask. After getting all the pieces from the hub world and levels, we put the pieces together. When wearing the mask, we see a factory with the strange logo on top, and when we take it off, we see a blue van that contains the old Mexis machine and a keypad. If we put on the mask and go to the factory entrance, we see the code under the strange symbol again. And when we put in the code in the Mexis machine, we get a cutscene where the entity gets sucked into the machine. The van doors close and it drives off. The end. Also, when you're finished, we get Jackie on the character gallery. Now let us analyze. First off, I am going to boldly say that the theory that the Tales from the Pizzaplex books being in the game's timeline is pretty much confirmed, since we have the plushie that belonged to David, Mimic's friend. And recently, Daco played an updated 5 Laps at Freddy's demo, and it showed a billboard of a vacuum cleaner from Murray Co. Murray, of course, being Edwin Murray from the books that created the Mimic. And in the story, he did create a vacuum cleaner when he was still in school. So yeah, the theory known as Tales Games is pretty solid, and in my opinion, has been for some time. But do you want to know what's more interesting? The tiger plush is given to us by Glitchtrap, just like the other memory dolls, which means that Glitchtrap has memories about David and his plush, which means that it definitively shows us that Glitchtrap is not William Afton, but the Mimic, or at least is made from the Mimic 1 program, the same program that Mimic uses. For some reason, the Mimic is shown wearing his Gregory cosplay in the gallery, which could lead us to believe that the Scooper ending in Ruin might be the canon ending, since he only wears that costume during the Scooper route. But I think we'll just have to wait and see. Now let us talk about the factory. The factory seems to be where Secret of the Mimic takes place, since Mystic Hippo does say that the gift is from the distant past, the gift being the small music box that gives us the puzzle that shows us the factory. But two things I want to bring attention to is the logo. The company that this logo belongs to is called MCM. People have suggested that this could be Murray Co. Manufacturing, but I'm not entirely sure, since Edwin did leave everything behind after David died, before returning years later at the Pizzaplex. So I think we will just have to wait for Secret of the Mimic to answer that for us. However, the logo does look similar to the wall code from Security Breach, and could be tied to the Storyteller, where Edwin drew strange shapes, and most notably, triangles within triangles, so Edwin and the Mimic have connections to that company. Another thing, there is a mural in front of the factory which notably has Fredbear and Classic Bonnie on it. Whether this means Classic Bonnie came before Spring Bonnie, maybe in Fredbear's singing show, or it means something else remains to be seen, but I just wanted to point that out. The last thing I will talk about is the ending. Now, I have 2.5 possible theories for what the ending could mean. Number 1. It shows us that, post-Ruin, Cassie's dad took the Mex's machine from the Pizzaplex and sent somewhere, teasing us for a game after Secret of the Mimic taking place post-Ruin. 1.5. Or it was Vanessa and Gregory who took it, since Cassie's dad did become Maskbot. Or number 2. It shows us that Cassie's dad helped Gregory and Vanessa to trap Mimic before Ruin, and the Mexes came from the factory next to it. I mean, we ourselves are not driving the car, so someone must be driving it. And the van is from that MCM puzzle, so the van could have also came from the factory. I lean more on the latter option, because Help Wanted 2 is a prequel to Ruin, and Mexes was already deactivated after Ruin, so I don't think you can deactivate him after he was already deactivated. More likely, the machine was still on inside the factory, and it was turned off to be sent to the Pizzaplex, then it was turned on. Wherever the case may be, I think Mexes could be very important in Secret of the Mimic. Some miscellaneous stuff I want to mention. The puzzle is called Double Vision Puzzle, and I assume that it was sold when the factory was still open. And since we have to use the Vanny mask to see both versions of the puzzle, what if the Vanny mask originally came from that factory? I mean, it does say it sells masks, so what if the masks from the factory was used to see the Double Vision puzzle, and the Vanny mask was originally from there? Also, this update pretty much debunks the theory that Cassie's dad is the Mex's entity. Also, people have theorized that the code to deactivate Mexes could be a release date for Secret of the Mimic, that being the 6th of April 2025. But that remains to be seen. So anyway, what do you all think? Do you agree with my conclusions, or do you have some alternate theories? If you do, please put them in the comments down below. And while you're there, please like and subscribe and all that jazz. I know I haven't uploaded in a long while. Honestly, uni has just been kicking my ass, so I wasn't really free to make videos. But the end of the semester is next week, and so I'll have more time to make more videos. Hopefully I'll have a Midnight Motorist video and a giant timeline video before the end of the year. So I'll see you there. See you on the flip side.